What up guys, JT Anime Nerd here, doing a video I don't normally do. But recently, I've been going through some stuff, reflecting on the past and how much I both appreciated and took it for granted when I wish I hadn't. So while I'm not gonna name names for the sake of everyone's privacy, I will use aliases to keep from there being any confusion. Note that the aliases I use are meant to represent the most notable trait about them that I know. I'm making this video to just let some things out and say thank you to them. I'll be sending this video to all my friends that I can, and hope that after watching this, they know how much they mean to me. Now before I start with the thank yous, I feel I should at least give some context. I'm sure I'm not the only one who goes through this, but we all love the process of going through life as we grew up, more than the whole growing up part. We look back at our lives and start to wonder if we took things for granted. Maybe we didn't spend enough time with the people we love, or maybe we didn't take the time to live at all. Stuff like that. I often go through all of my contacts wondering if I should just say hi, yet at the same time I admit, I hesitate. And I know I'm not the only one who does. This is mainly because I don't want to feel like a bother to anyone. You're not thinking about breaking or even straining the friendship, you're just worried about causing a crack in it just by calling or texting to say hi. This can be because of insecurity of how fragile our emotions can be. We want so badly to open up about how we feel, but it's difficult to do that face to face most of the time. And sometimes it's easier to do it by text. Then I thought, I have a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to express how much every person in and out of my life means to me. And so this video was the answer I felt I needed. It's meant to be as therapeutic for me as well as thankful to everyone I love. Now as I say this, most people would probably be like, you should move on, you can make new friends. Well, I know I can make new friends. But that doesn't mean I'm going to just move on from the old ones. To me, there is a difference between moving on and moving forward. I seek to move forward in my own way, as everyone else does. But moving on is something I refuse to ever do. There will always be room in my life and heart for every single person I meet and form a bond with, no matter how big or small that bond becomes over time. That's just who I am, and I'm not changing for anyone or anything. So call me a modern day Peter Pan, cause I ain't ever growing up. But I digress. With all that out of the way, I of course need to first thank my relative family, my loving mother Gaia, my supportive father Vader, my grandma Novella, my grandpa Foodie, my stepmom Red, all my cousins, aunts, nieces, and nephews, who all just made my life very happy for me. That also includes my awesome stepbrothers, Master Chief in Minecraft, cool stepsister Curly, and amazing half-sister Sally. She likes Nightmare Before Christmas, what can I say? You all were the first to teach me what family means, and continue to teach me, even when we're not always together. We've had our highs and we've had our lows, but that's what makes us family. And like Mirabel said in the movie Encanto, there isn't anything we can break that we can't fix. I love you all, and thank you for loving me back. Now I want to thank the other side of my family, my friends, who to me are one and the same, even when we're not always together or act like it. I'm gonna go over these ones more individually because these are the people who have impacted my life the most outside of my relatives. And I want to start with the friends who are still nearby. One who I still see in particular. A hard worker and who, while I haven't seen in a while, I'll always appreciate having him as a friend. Let's call him Ryu. Long story with that one. But I'll always remember how your sister, I'll call her Heartphilia, introduced us when we were kids. And we bonded over our interest of Bakugan battle brawlers. Remember those? And we pretty much grew up hanging out together ever since. As friends come and go, dude, I love knowing that you're still around, even if one day we might go our separate ways. And even when that day comes, I'll always see you as one of my bestest friends. So thanks, dude. I also want to thank my childhood church friends as well. They introduced me to Heartphilia, who introduced me to Ryu. I was going through a bit of a rough patch after a previous group of friends went their own way, and so I love that we all got to know each other and became friends. Now I want to thank a friend who lives in the city, who I'll call Shinobi. We met in a jujitsu class in the city and bonded over our interest in anime, particularly Naruto. We may not live in the same city anymore, but we still keep in touch as best as we can, and I consider you one of my bestest friends. It's two, dude. Now, there is one best friend who lives on the other side of the world who I'll call Star. We met on Discord, and we have yet to meet each other in person. I'm hoping one day we will, sooner rather than later, because she helped me out through a really tough time in my life. But out of everyone, she's probably the only friend I've ever fully opened up to about my own emotional stuff. And I've done the same for her whenever she needs me. So if you're watching, Star, I hope you know, as my bestie, I love you. Same goes for another YouTuber she introduced me to, who I'll refer to as Coffee. We haven't known each other for that long, but he's an awesome guy whose videos I still catch from time to time. I hope you're doing well, Coffee. Next up, I want to thank all the other friends I made in the city. Most, I admit, I can't remember all their names. Some I knew in jiu-jitsu class, like my instructors Newton and Egg. I know weird aliases. I'm making these aliases up as I go along. There's Drum Master, who I was in his band for one concert until I decided to leave. It was a music school. Some of the most fun I ever had was in that music school. There's also one of the coolest guys I ever met, who I'll call Van Halen because of his guitar skills. They were unrivaled in school, and he even opened up for Bonchon at Wells Fargo Center, his band, the band he was in at least. Then there's who I'll call Sailor Moon because she told me she cosplayed as her, and she always had the best style in music school. She even had this signature hat she always wore, which I found to be so cool. I was a little jealous of her. There was also a piano player, or I forget if it was what the electronic piano was called, but I call him Music Man. There were so many friends I made in the city, some whose names I do remember, some I don't, but I tend to focus on the fact that I at least know them and remember them, and hope that it's enough. So if some of you guys whose names I don't remember are watching, sorry about that. But anyway, there was even this girl I had a crush on in music school. I'll just call her Diamond, but she had one hell of a voice. I admit, I shot my shot, didn't pan out, but what are you gonna do? It's the teenage years. There's gonna be some ups, there's gonna be some downs. Either way, if you're watching this, Diamond, I hope you're doing great. There are actually a couple videos I found of a couple concerts of me and my friends were in, so if you want to check those out, check the description below. They were the most I could find throughout the years. I also went to a zoo camp once in the city. I don't remember anyone else's name except for one who I'll just call Waterboy, since he had a habit of snatching my water bottle from my backpack when I wasn't looking. I was cool about it, he was too. It was a harmless joke. But thank you to all my wildlife warrior pals, which you can actually check out of when we all train chickens in the description below. Now, this is a quick one, because I only know one name from this group, and in one of my years of community college, I joined an animation group. Never got to write anything, but I still loved spending time with these guys. And one of them, who was the first to welcome me, I'll call her Yu-Gi-Oh Girl, because the most I knew about her was that she was a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. So thank you for being the first to welcome me into that club. I also joined a Japanese culture club, but I wasn't there long enough to remember anyone's names, so sorry about that. There are also some other students in college I made friends with, so I thank them as well. I went to 2 types of summer camps as a kid, but one in particular had me meet 4 friends. Friends I'll call D, J, SpongeBob, and Pokemon. The SpongeBob and Pokemon thing is a long story, but they made summer camp great along with a few more friends, so I thank you guys for making summer camp a great experience. Now, I do want to thank some recent friends I made, and apologize to one of which you actually saw in our wing challenge video. You can find it in the description below. I'll refer to him as Cloud for now, but I'm still trying to work on a few more live videos. So if you're watching this, dude, it may still be a bit before or your next live appearance, but I promise to get on it as soon as possible. But I do thank you for being in that video, as well as reaching out to be my friend. I can't thank you enough for that. Now then, there's the friend I feel I owe an apology to. A fellow YouTuber who I actually went to the same acting class with. He's a friend of mine in and outside of Discord, and we'll call him Blader or Sue. And the reason I want to apologize is because in class, that friend of mine was crying right while he was sitting right behind me, and I noticed, and as much as I wanted to help, I just sat there and said nothing. It wasn't because I didn't want to say something to make you feel better. It was because I'm afraid that trying to reach out can push the wrong buttons, and I was scared. I can't say it may not happen again, but if you ever need a friend to talk to, I'll be there whenever I can be. And I hope we can collaborate in the future. So thanks for being my friend, and I'll do my best to be a better friend in the future. I of course also want to thank the rest of my acting friends who I met in acting class. I loved getting to know you guys, and I hope some of us can get together one day in the future. Now I want to thank a group of friends I made after someone closest to me had moved away. I remember when most of us met at a restaurant for the first time. All of our parents got us together and made us close friends. And even though we're not all together anymore, you are all a big part of my life. And I hope one day some of us can reconnect. One friend I really want to thank, I'll refer to him as Yugi, because he was the most I ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! Against growing up. I know it's been a while, but I hope I get to see you again, dude. And I hope your brother's doing well. Now I want to thank who I consider to be my first real crush, as well as the first crush who ever actually liked me back. I'll refer to her as Bookworm, mainly because our closest moments were always at Barnes & Noble's. We always loved hanging out there, and we even got in trouble one time for playing tag in the building. Though I regret to admit that I hid so I wouldn't get in trouble. Even so, she forgave me, and she was even the first girl to even give me a kiss on the forehead. Bottom line is, she was a big part of my life, and last I heard she was doing pretty great for herself. So if you're watching this, Bookworm, I hope you're living an awesome life, and hope me and you and your brother can catch up one day. Now I want to thank my siblings a bit more in detail, starting with my two sisters. As for the youngest, Sally, I feel really lucky to have you for a younger sister. I know I rarely say this, but I love you. As for the eldest, I know we haven't seen each other since we were kids. I just want to say that if this ever reaches you, that I still love you like a sister. To me, you're family no matter what. And I hope we see each other again one day. Now I want to give thanks and love to my two younger brothers, Master Chief and Minecraft. If you guys are watching this video, we may not have always gotten along, but at the end of the day, you were, and to me, still are the best brothers I could ever ask for. I know we haven't seen each other in a long time, but you guys are always welcome back in my life, no matter what. And I even want to give thanks and love to your dad for being a close friend too. Not for him, I wouldn't have met you guys. And now, this thanks goes to, in particular, the first girlfriend I ever had. I'll call her Yor because she really loves Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I'll always remember how she collected these little ceramic statues and how adorable I think it is. I hope your collection's expanded since then. But anyway, this isn't just a run-of-the-mill thank you. Believe it or not, you changed me in a way. Even though things didn't work out, you helped me realize how love comes in all shapes and sizes. And in my case, you helped me learn how much I loved everyone in my life. and it made me a better person because of it. So thank you for taking a chance on me. And I hope whoever you're taking a chance on right now is helping you grow as well. And I hope it's giving you all the happiness you deserve. Also, say hi to your older brothers for me if you can. The next friend I want to thank is the brother of my first friend ever. I'll call him Blue Eyes, mainly because he had a Blue Eyes White Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh card that I may or may not have taken when he left his Yu-Gi-Oh deck at my house one time. What can I say? I was like 7. But anyway, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for that. But also thanks for being my friend and for also being a so-and-so role model. I was always kind of jealous of you because you were older and got to experience more of life than me and your sister could around that time. So thank you for motivating me, even if you didn't know you were. Now, what can I say about my parents aside from that if not for them, I wouldn't even be here. And I love you both. My mom for how hard she's worked to raise me, and my father for being the best dad he could ever be. So Dad, if you're watching this, hopefully we'll still be able to jam one day. My dad's a musician. Definitely want to get that over with before or either of us kick the bucket. I also have an awesome stepmother who only adds more to my extended family. So thank you for always making me feel like a part of it. And now, to finish things off, I want to thank my first and bestest friend. I'll call her Soul, as in the sun, because she has a smile that brightens the world every time she does. It still feels like yesterday you gave me that box of gifts before you and your brother had to move away. I still think back to that day, and I truly wish I could rewind time just to relive those moments with you again. But part of growing up is moving forward. From what I've heard and read in the past, you've been through a lot of struggle, but you persevered and came out on top as best as you can. I can't imagine the pain you went through. I only wish I could have been there to help ease it more alongside you, your family and friends. But who knows? At this point, I can only hope that the world lets us meet again and catch up. There is so much that's happened in my life that I'd love to share with you and everyone else that's ever been in my life. But even if we don't meet again, I'm at least happy you'll get to live the best life you can. After all, you're the girl who can survive anything. And I will always be proud of you for that. You all give me a reason to smile. And I made this video to let you all know that. And that you all mean more to me than anyone or anything could ever understand. This may sound corny and maybe a bit cringe, but you guys are all the best, and I hope I get to see you all again one day. All my friends, both new and old, every single one of you are always welcomed in my life, no matter what. I love you all.